predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackey and Judd with Rami. This is the big leagues where we own our terrible predictions.
Write this down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
It's Write That Down with Mackey, Judd, and Rami.
Write that down. Write that down. I don't have a pencil. Well, remember that.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Write that down with me flying the plane today, which is very dangerous. Let me see if I can not crack. This is probably the most complicated segment we do production-wise, because there's like visual components. There are no airbags.
Where's the flotation device?
There is no flotation device, and there is no eject button. You're just at the mercy of me flying this plane.
And that guy's got his
shoes
off, too.
Yep.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
And he's not wearing a mask.
Of course.
Look, it's Kirk Cousins.
Of course.
Oh, we'll get to that on Purple Daily today. So we've got every single week on this segment. We are the only sports talk show or podcast in the country that actually keeps track of our predictions and holds each other accountable. All these other frauds out there just throw predictions out, and then nobody goes back to see if they were right or wrong.
Right, because that's dangerous.
Not us. This is how it works every single week. 3 predictions from everybody. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs. And listeners can just DM me at Phil Mackey on Twitter if you'd like to participate. Declan Goff is out on vacation today. He's taking his first trip since COVID started. He's very nervous, and so he's going to quarantine next week. But he stumbled into something that we'll get to here.
Write this down.
In just a moment. And we'll get to listener Megan and listener John, formerly in Manhattan, here in just a couple of seconds after we speed through the accountability session, which starts with Judd Zulgad.
Write this down.
And you can see that on your screen, right, Judd?
Yes.
Okay. You said Mike Clevenger will be traded to the Yankees by the trade deadline.
Again, I was too specific.
Yep. If you took out the Yankees there, you would have been.
Yeah, I should have just said he'd be traded because I was sure of that.
Yep.
Darn it.
So you only had one thing come off the board this week. Jonathan Harrison, last year's batting champion, had nothing off the board. Manny Hill had nothing off the board. Rami Makloff had nothing off the board. I had a rough week. I said the Twins.
It's a lot of red, Phil.
It is. And listen, this first one is not my fault. This is the Twins' fault.
Oh, thanks, Luis Ariz.
I said the Twins will trade for a pitcher of some kind before the trade deadline. Didn't happen. I said the Twins will beat the Indians on Wednesday, and this will be Clevenger's last start for the Indians in 2020. I was half right. The Twins got beat by the Indians.
Again, you were too specific.
And then I said the Twins would trade for Trevor Bauer, which...
Reds are going for it, despite the fact they got beat like 16-2 last night, okay?
What are they now? 5 games under 500 again?
It's
6?
It's a long season. Actually, it's not at all.
If they get in, though, they've got like 5 decent hitters who can hit home runs, and they've got 2 really good starting pitchers. If they do get in...
pitchers, yeah.
And I think they traded for Archie Bradley, so they have a couple decent relievers. It's like one of those teams that could very much win a short series.
It's hockey.
Yeah.
They have
a goaltender.
hot goaltender.
Yeah.
Potentially.
The listeners, Patrick Royce chimed in last week with the bunt single of all bunt singles. He said the winning score in the BMW Championship would be lower than the previous week's tournament, is what this is supposed to say. And just for some context, Dustin Johnson won the previous week 30 under par, which is one of the lowest scores in the history of golf. So
yeah, you guys were both very upset as golf fans.
I found a prediction that Patrick also made probably like late 2019, sometime long ago, many months ago. He said the Timberwolves will fall in the draft order. They will not move up. We're going to ding him for that.
Okay.
Listener Andy said Judd will rip the Twins for giving up too much at the trade deadline in an article on SKORNorth.com.
Never happened. Nope.
Would you have ripped them if let's say they traded Larnach for Bauer or something?
I don't know. Got to think about that. Maybe.
Okay.
There's potential.
Declan had a bunch of things come off the board. He said Justin Thomas will shoot at least 10 under at the BMW. I think the winning score was 4 under, so nobody came close.
Okay.
He said Daniil Hunter will return to padded practice in August. He said the Twins will trade a top 5 prospect this season. Lewis, Kirilloff, Larnach, Balazovic, or Duran. They did not. However, he did say Josh Donaldson will not start a game for the rest of August.
Yes!
And then there's this one, all right? When he made this prediction last week, I almost said something, but then I kept my mouth shut to try to trap him.
Yeah, which you should have.
He said Miguel Sano will strike out 10 times between now and next week's. Write that down.
So he was on 10.
He did not say at least 10 times.
He was on 10.
He said Miguel Sano will strike out 10 times.
So it would have had to have been exactly 10.
And it was exactly 10 with the 3 strikeouts last night. So Declan Goff hits his first home run of his career.
You know what we call that? Dumb luck.
Ridiculous. So you still, Judd Zulgad, have the batting average lead, batting .442 with 3 bombs. Declan Goff with his first career home run, .422 with 1 home run. Rami Makloff still holding strong at .391 with a home run. I have dropped to .319 with 2 home runs. Listeners at .264 with a home run. John Harrison, last year's batting champion, .209 with 2 home runs. And Manny Hill at .156 and 1 home
Write this down.
run.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, you and I are probably gonna screw this up. Let me bring Megan here first,
okay,
and see what happens.
All right.
Okay. All right, Megan, can you hear us?
Yes.
Write this down.
Okay, Judd.
Now, do you want me to
Let's
punch
see if
up
we can
John?
punch John up and see what
Okay.
on the right side there.
Yeah, I got it. Hold on. There.
John, are you there?
Loud and clear.
Oh, we got
John.
everybody. Yes.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Zach.
By the way, this is John, formerly of Manhattan. Or are you back in Manhattan?
No, never again.
No one is. Manhattan's empty now. Everyone moved out.
Yeah.
They followed John's lead.
Yep, I'm a trailblazer. That's me.
So we're going to do this. We're going to start with Megan as the leadoff hitter, and then we're going to go to John, Judd, and Phil here. We're going to go around 3 different times. Megan, are you ready to hit leadoff, and are you here to hit home runs, or are you here to square up and bunt like Patrick Royce last week?
I'm going to try to get the batting average up.
Okay, so you're going to bunt. You're going to go for seeing eye singles.
Okay, the Twins are going to redeem themselves on Friday, and they will sweep the Tigers in the doubleheader.
Wow.
Write this down.
Good.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
By the way, I'm going to make Declan go back and listen to this and keep track of these. Otherwise, I'm doing too many things over here for me to also be like writing these down. So we'll trust that Declan hears these right. Is it a 3-game series against the Tigers?
It's a 5-game series.
Yeah.
It's 2 games on Friday, 1 on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Wow. That would be a home run if that happens.
No, she said Friday, though, right? Right, Megan?
Yeah, they'll
Just Friday.
the double.
Oh, just
So
a
just
double
2 games.
Got you.
So not all 5 games.
Got you. Okay.
Write this down.
Okay.
No. Good chance
All
for a
right.
hit.
John, formerly of Manhattan.
Well, okay, so I had something very similar, but I said that the Twins will have at least 1 winning streak, at least 1, of at least 5 games before the season's end. But if they're going to sweep Detroit, which I want to get on that train with Megan, then I'm going to say at least 6 games before season's end. At least 1 winning streak of at least 6 games.
I like it.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
Some Twins optimism here. Judd Zulgad.
All right. So at some point in time, probably in the winter, something has to give. The Twins have too many players for too many similar positions, and it's become quite clear that I don't know that they have the stomach to move their top prospects, okay? Mm-hmm. The Twins will trade Max Kepler this offseason.
Wow.
It's a favorable contract.
Wow.
I think that they are going to default to one of the kids to play right field.
Write that down.
Max Kepler, and the contract is very tradable. Like, this could get you a decent return. Max Kepler is going to be the one who gets traded.
I would say that the contract actually makes him more valuable.
Yeah.
So you would get something, because some team would look and say, oh, this is, and he probably still has even like more upside. So you'd be losing a big piece, but you're also going to, between Rooker, Larnach, and Kirilloff, one of those guys is going to be a star corner outfielder for you.
And somebody needs to play.
Yeah. I also don't know if Eddie Rosario is here for the long run. You're going to have to cut some salary at some point.
Yeah.
So there might be some moving and shaking.
I agree.
Interesting. All right.
Write this down.
Let's keep the Twins predictions going here. The Twins have 23 games left. So this is kind of in line with what John predicted, but the Twins have 23 games left. They will win at least 14 of the 23 games. And just to specify, in case they don't play 23 games, they will win at least 14 games starting today, September 2nd, until the end of the regular season.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, back to Megan.
Okay, I'm doing all Twins predictions. So my next one is that Nelson Cruz will win the AL home run title for this season.
Ooh. What does he have right now? 14 or something?
Yeah, something.
11, 12? That guy's ridiculous. He just, and that hit he had down the right field line last night, too. Like, he can hit a home run 480 feet to left or just, like, poke a double down the right field line.
Imagine that. Diversifying your hitting portfolio.
Yeah.
Miguel Sano, how about it?
He's a good baseball player.
Write this down.
All right, back to John, formerly of Manhattan.
I really appreciated what Rocco did last night by bringing in Whistler. He's basically telling his team to wake up. Everybody's going to get a chance to step up and earn the trust. So I think that the Twins will have at least 2 more pitchers record saves this year. At least 2 more.
So two that have not recorded a save yet, you're saying?
Correct, yeah. So Romo, Rogers, and now Whistler are all out. But May, Duffy, Alcala, Astudillo, if he gets playing time anywhere, could be as a closer.
I'm here for the Astudillo. Astudillo looks a little bit like Dennis Reyes, that lefty the Twins had like 12 years ago. I'm here for that.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
The Jarrett girls. Oh, man. All right. Back over to Judd.
I'm going to transition to a Vikings write that down. And I'm not so the whole Brian O'Neill was going to move from right to left tackle, and now obviously Riley Reif is staying put. I'm not sure I'm buying that O'Neill is your long-term left tackle because I still think that you drafted Ezra Cleveland in the second round for a reason, so you can write this down. Ezra Cleveland will be the Vikings starting left tackle in 2021. So they're going to give him a year to practice and back up, but I think that, and Reif is going to be gone next year, Ezra Cleveland's going to be your starting left tackle in 2021.
Could see that.
Write this down. Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, write this down. So Kirk Cousins on Kyle Brandt's podcast, 10 Questions. He said, I'm summing this up. He said, listen, I'll wear a mask just because, I want to protect people and all, and whatever. But he was asked on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being masks are ridiculous and 10 being never leave your bedroom for the next 10 years. Where do you fall on the COVID scale? He goes, I'm like a 0.001. So he's basically saying, it doesn't concern me. This is ridiculous. And he said, if I die, I die. If I get it, I get it. If I die, I die. Write this down. Kirk Cousins.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
Will die of, no, I'm just kidding. Kirk Cousins will walk back his comments in some form. And I'll put that up for you and Declan to help decide. But he will walk back his comments on Kyle Brandt's podcast in some way, whenever that may be.
So he'll address them and try and soft pedal them a little bit more.
And just to put an end date on it, it'll be within the next week. Within the next week, he will walk back those comments.
All right.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
All right, back to Megan, your third and final prediction.
Okay, so the Twins aren't in first anymore, but I think that they're still going to win the division, but it's going to be really close. So I think they're going to win it by 3 games or less.
Okay. So they're going to come back. They're going to overtake the Indians, overtake the White Sox, and win by 3 games or less.
Yep, that win last night, I'm back on the division.
What was your mental state 2 nights ago?
Very sad, dead inside.
Byron Buxton helps. Byron Buxton, that's the lesson from last night. Definitely helps out.
So, Megan, since you have this gigantic platform right now, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that got you to this point?
Just thank you guys for having me on. I've been listening to the show almost from when it started, so it's fun to participate in one of my favorite segments.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it.
Write this down.
We appreciate you taking your swings, and good luck to you, Megan.
Thank you. Go Twins.
All right, John, formerly of Manhattan, your final prediction here.
I'm glad you opened the Kirk Cousins floodgate, because if you know one thing about me, Mackey, it's that I am the biggest Kirk Cousins fan.
Certainly.
So Kirk Cousins will lead the Vikings to a 2-4 record against the NFC North this year.
Wow, lead is a strong word there.
Well, hey, somebody's got to. The Vikings will finish. This is a parlay, by the way. The Vikings will finish no better than 500 on the year, and Kirk Cousins will never lead the Vikings to another playoff victory.
Wow!
In the rest of his tenure.
Can we tweak that last one to just say that he will never start a playoff victory, just to quantify it?
You can tweet whatever you want as your take. I'm telling you. All Vikings fans, just throw in the towel now. Kirk Cousins will never lead you to a victory.
John, your hate for Kirk Cousins is an impressive amount of vitriol.
Hey, listen, I hate I hate Kirk more than Kirk hates COVID, right? And masks.
Well put.
And he definitely hates COVID based on his comments.
Write this down.
Well, he hates the way people are treating
needs a
COVID.
mask?
Yeah.
Hates masks, yeah.
So John, formerly of Manhattan, since you have this platform right now, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that got you to this point?
Yeah, I really got to thank the people that made me fall in love with sports radio. Paul Allen, Dan Cole, the Common Man,
Of course.
Molesky, the bumper to bumper.
Just a great crew of guys.
All my heroes.
Legends.
Led by the superstar Mike Morris, don't forget.
Don't forget about Corey Cove and Paul Lambert and Chris Hockey, too. Just a great group of guys.
Yeah, only one way to start the day. Yep.
So, do you really think you're suited to be the fourth guy in our group, Buzz Killington?
All right. Bye, John.
Stay safe out
See you,
there.
John. Be good. Miss talking to you.
All right, Judd.
Write this down.
Your final
How
prediction.
can I top any of that? I don't know how. All right, my final prediction. I've had to think about how I'm going to word this one, but I think I've got it right now where I'm comfortable with it. After the events that we saw transpire on Tuesday between the Big Ten, the president of our fine country, the Big Ten football season will not start until after October. Just to be correct about this, okay? So I'm saying the Big Ten. So now there's talk they're going to fire it up in the next couple of weeks or something. Then I saw a report yesterday that it might be October, and then I saw basically the Big Ten put out a statement saying, yeah, we love football. So as the president, this is great, and promise nothing. The Big Ten season, Declan Goff, when you go back and listen to this, will not start until after October. So they'll start November at some point, Thanksgiving. I don't know.
But it's not going to start in October.
But they're not going to. The Big Ten put out no statement that basically said, yeah, we're going to start soon. They basically said, we talked to Donald Trump.
I feel like one of Donald Trump's biggest strategies, whether it's like this instance or just like, or as a president or as a longtime businessman, is in order to pressure people into doing things that he wants them to do, he comes out publicly with a statement like, hey, I had a great conversation with my wife, and we're pretty close on me never having to do dishes again.
Yes.
So, or folding laundry. It's great. Yeah,
I'll never have to do it.
So pretty soon that'll be in effect, and just really enjoyed our conversation today.
That is
and
exactly
she's like, wait,
right.
what?
Yeah, and she's like, no, I never really said that. So,
Write this down.
They're not going to start.
All right, write this down. This one's just for Declan here because he whiffed on a Sasha and Bailey WWE prediction. Last night, I believe it was last night, maybe it was Monday night, the WWE laid the groundwork for a Sasha and Bailey split. They lost their tag titles.
And that's what he was trying to say was going to happen.
He thought they were going to split by SummerSlam.
Right.
They started to lay the groundwork on Monday night. So write this down. Whenever they do meet at an upcoming pay-per-view, so Declan, when Sasha and Bailey inevitably meet at not the next pay-per-view, but like at an upcoming pay-per-view, Sasha will beat Bailey in that match. Write it down. Sasha
Write this down.
will beat Bailey in that match when they inevitably square off, and it has to be at a pay-per-view.
Okay.
So a special event of some kind.
Because he got the prediction wrong because he didn't get it in time.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Yep. So
Write it down. You like writing things down.
there you have it. Those are the Write That Down predictions here. The only show in America, in the world, that actually keeps track of our predictions and holds each other accountable.